Hey everyone, it's your Friday Friday midday update, and the news just keeps coming flying at us today. You have to be listening very closely to be able to understand the risks that we now have in our global economy. So I paused CNBC here to show you that the UK index is down 2.12%. The German DAX is down 3.08%. The France CAC is down 2.69%. But the Italian stock market is down 5.17%. We only have to stop and look at this number to be able to understand where our risks are. So the 10-year note in Europe, all of those different EU countries, they all have their own 10-year notes as well too. They have soared in interest. So the Italians are now paying, the interest rate that they're paying on their debt has increased 150% this year. Think about that for a minute. You're a country that produces only olive oil and travel. Nobody's going to travel to you now that they're being crushed like a bug economically. And how much olive oil do we need? Now, we need a lot of olive oil because sunflower oil is very, very hard to get. So maybe some things can be changed out with olive oil, and maybe that'll save their total economy in Italy. But at the end of the day, the problem becomes just this, that Italy is failing. And Italy can't pay its bills. So then France has tons of debt as well too. It can't pay its bills. Germany is the only industrial region in the whole EU, but it's now not run by Angela Merkel, who was a liberal saying, yeah, we'll pay for everything anyway. Don't worry about it. We're good. It's now run more by conservative thinking people who say, wait a second, Achtung, Germany's first. Okay. So we have that global risk of default as well too. So we're not only taking money out of, or liquidity out of our system, that's what quantitative easing actually is, the removal of money, the removal of your ability to be able to go out and buy a Tesla from you. Because we have to crush you to be able to get the liquidity back away from you. So now markets do that very effectively. When you look at a stock, any stock, look at Netflix. It's not a good example, but when liquidity was high, because the United States government printed double the amount of money into the monetary supply since the 2008 financial crisis. When money was free, then money was just given to all of these startup corporations in the tech sector. There's this opportunity to be able to make better eyeglasses, Warby Parker, or whatever the heck it's called. Okay, but how do you be profitable making cheaper eyeglasses? Oh, we're not going to worry about that. We'll be profitable sometime later on down the road. We have no clue. So all of those businesses, their stocks are going down 60, 70, 80%, I think. Netflix, I think, is down 70% so far this year. Where did all that net wealth go? Where did all that net liquidity go? Where did all that liquidity of the stock price go? It all got sucked out. It was all a fictitious mirage in the first place. They don't produce any asset. So at the end of the day, all of that is catching up with us now. We're starting to realize what all of our risks are, because the happy days of 1929 are suddenly catching up with us big time. And that's what the problem is. What's the solution? We can't look to this current administration because there's no leadership on trying to find a solution. There's no solution. They never have a solution for anything. It's always about, let's talk. Let's talk about a solution. And then the other thing that was also upsetting around the globe last night was when the globe was watching that primetime special about, the January 6th, markets were selling off around the globe and nobody was paying any attention. And there's no leadership. That's what the whole point of last night was. You sat down on your couch and you watched that and you said, oh my God, I want to go take a nap. I was in bed by 10 o'clock last night. I was so exhausted. It was really, really nice. Of course, that little shot of NyQuil helped me a little bit last night to try to get rid of this little bit of cold. But at the end of the day, so we have so much risk all over the place now. We've always had the risk. But we have no leadership to be able to save us from the risk. And that's what's going on in the foreign markets. That's what's going on in our market today. We are now down to 31,400 on the Dow, which was exactly what I was pointing out to you to watch out for. We're now there. And we probably will retest, I haven't run the data yet for today, but we probably will retest down to 30,900. We will probably break under 30,900 and close under 30,900 because the VIX is not spiking today. So we will probably retest back down to 29,900. That's where we're looking at. Could you imagine losing 10%, or actually 36.9 to 29, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Yeah, that's 7. Could you imagine losing 20% of your economy's liquidity in stock prices in 6 months? Think about that for a minute. That's how bad it is out there. That's depressionary. That's not recessionary, that's depressionary. Think about that for a minute. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Have you moved to cash yet? Have you done everything you possibly can? Are you looking? I just ran into somebody this week with over $200,000 of credit card debt. $200,000 of credit card debt and massive income. And I said to them, you'll never get debt free. You're going to have to file bankruptcy. You're going to, and they and they wanted to buy a house. So get with the program, get over this, get ready, batten down the hatches. We're going to go away and just spend a couple days at the camper. Just get away, spend some time with some friends, have a bottle of wine, probably just a $7 bottle of wine. But anyway, enjoy your weekend. It is bad. It is going to get worse. And I'm sorry, but there's just no leadership to be able to get us out of this funk. Everybody's getting crushed. I'm getting crushed. My Oxy is getting crushed. Oxy comes back, but the reason that oil is selling off is that, maybe I should spend another minute here. So who buys Italian debt? Who buys German debt? Who buys English debt? When their own central banks are no longer buying their own debt? Okay. The answer is the Chinese. But the Chinese economy has been crushed like a bug because it shut itself all down to fight zero COVID. It had a policy of zero COVID. Its policy for zero COVID was not about zero COVID. It was about the concept we're going to stop buying government debt from other countries. And now the Chinese are asking, please invest in us because we desperately need new liquidity to be able to restart the second largest economy on the globe. So if the first largest economy on the globe, the United States, is spiraling into depression, at least it's in recession right now. We've got that from the Michigan sentiment numbers. And if the number 2 economy on the planet is sucky so bad because it's coming out of its zero COVID policies, and if the number 3 economy on the planet, the German economy, is sucky right now, then where do you shelter from this storm? You shelter from this storm in a house that's paid off. You shelter in the storm with a little business that makes some money every so often. You shelter from this storm by going to work and saying, I'm glad that I've got this check today, because tomorrow this check might be going away. And you have to start planning on the concepts. What if that check does go away? Because this is not good. I'll leave you with that. Go enjoy your weekend. There's nothing we can do about it because leadership is not there. And all we can do is be as prepared for this as we can possibly be. Last thing, the EU today, these folks, it's comical. The EU today passed a law that by 2035, they will no longer allow anybody in the EU to buy a combustion engined car. 2035, the Great Reset of 2035. The EU is leading that. The globalists at the EU are leading that. And they just passed a law today banning anybody, taking away the freedom of their citizens to have a car. How do poor people who make $35,000 a year buy an $80,000 electric car? I'll leave you with that thought for the weekend. Have a good weekend. It is bad out there. I'm going to just go out and relax and try to get this blood pressure down. Have a great weekend.